We're recording. Hi, everyone. We're so excited to have you. And thank you so much for registering for this webinar. This is my first webinar, which blows my mind because I do videos every single day and have been doing business for quite a lot of years. So I'm excited to actually experiment with this. Thank you for your patience with us as we figure it out. I think it's pretty simple, but we would love to hear how you heard about this webinar, and Cynthia, and also, just we're going to share a couple other things that we're going to ask you a question in a minute. So we want to thank you just for being here, just being on and trusting this space that you're probably like, what is this exactly? You're trusting us. So let me give you 30 seconds just really quick about me. I'm Jennifer Lamprey. I am the CEO of I Love My Body Diet. It is also actually a movement that I'm helping lead. It's 1 million women strong by the year 2020. It's a vision I saw over 2 years ago. I've been doing programs, events, memberships, all based around women's worth and value and strengthening them by leading with their hearts. So it's us women learning how to lead in our feminine. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but I am super passionate about this. I love, love, love bringing women together. It's like one of my all-time favorite things. And then just being real, raw, honest, getting down to the nitty-gritty. And this is Amy, you guys. She is the bomb. We're going to let her just share a little bit about her.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Amy Heimbigner. I have a background in comedy, improv, and performing. And so I've been doing improv for about 6 years, but my way of doing it has been a little bit different. I'm very intuitive, and so my method of exploring improv was always, why are people doing comedy the way they are? And then like, why are they coming up with certain things? Why are they doing that? And so from that, it led me to start analyzing people, start using my intuition to guide people in both dramatic improv and comedy improv to become who they actually are and to tap into what they're trying to express but aren't able to. And so that's the tool I bring to this. And then I'm also a leader under Jennifer of this quickening movement. And I just adore this, and I adore this movement. It's really, really special to me.
Yeah, she helped lead through Complete Faith, our last quickening. And we did improv. We had a stage in my backyard. It was freaking amazing. Really cool. Amazing, with about 35 women or something like that came. So you guys, this is how today is going to work. We're going to be about an hour. So we want you to hang tight. We'd love for you to stay on the whole thing because we're really going to take you through this journey of what we see is moving, really helping us to create movement in our lives, like major, major movement as women. And so this is how it's going to work. We're going to actually move through, and we're going to do a couple things before we step right in to these 3 emotions. And we're going to break down the 3 emotions and the 3 values that support that, which are actually the crux or the foundation of the whole movement of the 1 million women strong. And it is literally what we thrive and live in that keeps us alive and ticking in the memberships as a community. And we believe it is key. And we truly want you to leave this hour feeling not only inspired, but like you have so much hope that you can shift where you're at right now in your life. Because we believe that with this kind of what we're talking about today, you can. And so we're going to work through some of these things with you. We're even going to ask you, and we would love for some of you to come on in the second section we're going to be doing and be open to even being on the panelists, showing your face here and doing a little something, something for us, being real raw and real. We also have a couple women that are going to be coming on from our community and sharing and being just awesome amazingness for everybody. So we want you to, since that's our intention, and we believe intention is so important, and you probably do too, but intention is how we create. To set an intention allows for the experience to be set free. And so, it's not necessarily a goal, it's a little bit different. It's what your intention is. So we want you right now, if you will think about after this hour, like during this hour and by the end of this hour, what your personal intention would be and what do you want to get? What do you want to experience yourself because this is another thing that I believe in 100% is that we are responsible for our own lives. So yes, we are going to bring you this process, these intentions ourselves, and we want you to have something here. And at the same time, we're co-creating this experience together. So even if you're just here listening or you're on the replay, you are creating this process with us, and your intention matters. It matters a lot to us. So we really want to make sure that you create an intention. And so that being said, one part of our community is understanding, and very important is the language of emotions. Now, this is a very feminine thing that a lot of us have pushed away. And I teach and am really enveloped in allowing our emotions or feelings to be expressed. And how many of us have not, I really want you to think about this for a second, because I had to really think about this last couple of years. Was I allowed to express and feel? And I have to tell you, I wasn't. It was actually wrong for me as a woman to be in my emotions, that I was too emotional. I was told that. And so because I was told that over and over and over again, I started wondering what the heck is up with these things called feelings. And so I started attracting a lot of things in my life that were giving me answers, like real answers of what feelings and emotions were and how to understand the language of feelings. And do you guys know that you really can? I actually, because of my beautiful friend, Beth Banning, it is the Gibson Banning method. It's an insight coaching thing that I do. But because of that, I started really dissecting emotions. And so if you watch what's going to happen the next hour, we want you to be aware of your feelings and be okay with these feelings that are going to be expressed today. Because as we talked about, these three emotions or these three feelings are some that sabotage us and we get stuck in so tight, like literally shuts down the movement in our life. Would not you agree, Amy?
Yes. Yeah. Not having the flow and not allowing yourself to experience it really shuts you down.
Yeah.
You're in protective mode. You're doing anything you can to not experience those emotions.
And we are all about movement, and emotions are feelings in motion. So we really want you to learn how to do that. And we're going to do it through these different avenues so that you can just be okay doing it. So we're going to talk about the three emotions. The first emotion, Amy's actually going to take charge of and lead us in, and also the counterpart to it, and the piece that we are, our foundation, like I said, is one of our top values. Super, super important in the movement, and we believe in everybody's life. Do you want to? I'm gonna hand it over to you, Amy, and let you go to town with this one.
So the really fun emotion I have, we're gonna talk about is shame. And so for all you Brene Brown fans out there, like what shame, the best way to describe it is feeling like you are bad or you are wrong, and not just that you're doing it. It's a shame versus guilt thing. So guilt is what I'm doing is wrong, and shame is I am wrong. I am bad. And so a lot of this is going to be centered on finances. And so I'm going to share a story of shame I'm experiencing in finances. And so I want you to, this is very vulnerable to experience shame in a setting like this. So I want you to be aware of it, and I want you to allow me to be in it, and just allow me that space. And we're just not going to hide from shame right now. We're going to explore it. We're going to let it flow. So we can process it, and so we can learn how to process it. So one thing that I am learning right now is I am in a place in my life right now where I have to be provided for by a lot of people. I get to accept a lot of help, but for me, I'm very, very independent. And so what that means is I feel like my independence and my core of who I am is being taken away if I accept help. And so I feel if I accept help financially or in what other way from people, I feel I have to mold myself to them. Like I'm no longer a person. I'm not worth that. I'm not worthy of providing for myself. And so that's a feeling that I'm going to be exploring. So one way that we've discovered to process shame and to flip it into authenticity. See, when I'm experiencing this emotion of shame, I'm not in my authentic self. I'm not who I feel I truly am, because I feel like who I truly am is bad and wrong and not worth feeling.
And I'm actually going to, because this is what we get to do, you guys, this is how it works, especially with us as we're leaders. We give the permission for one another to kind of open up space for what we're sharing. So one thing that Amy's, if you guys listen to Amy, she's saying feels like, and you'll catch me saying it too. Be aware of that, because it's actually not a feeling. What she's going to say next is not a feeling. So no, it's awesome. So she may be sensing, or she may be believing these things. And this is the language that we're getting to, is listen to even how we're talking about feelings. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So she's feeling shame as she's doing this. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out. Amy,
yeah,
thank you so much for being an example of that, because I catch myself all the time now doing that.
What was the exact sentence that I said feels like? Because I didn't even
said realize. A bunch. You said it probably 7 times.
That is amazing. Yeah, I never
do that all the time.
Yeah, so I never address what I actually feel in my body.
Yes, exactly.
What I feel like small, exactly. I feel small. Like different things.
There's different areas, right? So we're feeling things. So she's gonna be feeling shame, and this is where we get to go. We get to feel shame with her. We actually get to experience shame right now.
Yeah. I'm stripping down, oh, it's like this, it's like this, it's like this. I'm not having to explain. The difference between living in your head and living in your heart is your head feels like it has to explain everything to everyone. It has to justify itself so it doesn't feel shame. I can't be wrong if everyone knows how good my intentions are. But our heart just feels, it just is. Mm-hmm. And so that goes straight into what we're going to be doing. So what I'm going to be doing is called Authenticity in Motion, AIM for short. And it is tapping out of your head, out of justifying, trying to protect yourself, and going into your heart of just experiencing feelings and emotions and movement in that way. And we're basically, the best way to describe it is it's not a dance, but it's speaking through your body from your heart. And so I'm going to be doing one right now. Let me move my computer. We can have like a really rocked up setting. And I'm going to be experiencing exactly what I told you. I'm going to focus on that shame and that story I told, and see if we can make discoveries, see if we can see anything from it, and see what we can do.
While you're doing that, while you're getting prepared, really quick, as she's doing this, again, this is an observation. So if you want to be in observing mode of what she's doing, just watch her, and then know that shame, and also be aware, what story is she telling through this movement of her heart? Because again, this is this core principle, this core foundation for us is authenticity. And this is one way that we express authenticity. Hi, everyone that's new. Love having you guys on. You guys too, if you have questions or you want to share, we really want to hear from you too. So like maybe share your intentions that we just asked. Like, what is your intention that you want to get out of this hour? Put it in the chat box. And we really want to hear that. So.
Okay. All right, let's do this.
Hollow to the touch, make mischief at your lips. I follow up the cough, fake breath and rest. frozen feet I move. The winter brings out swallow in my shoes, left falling.
Yay. Good job.
Okay.
You're okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
That was nice. Found out some stuff.
that was nice. How did it feel for you? I know I'm crying too, Cynthia. I cried at the beginning big time.
It just made me realize how much I speak through my body so much, and when I tap into it, I realize my head is trying to justify so much. My body is experiencing things too, and my body has stuff to say too. And so even when I thought I was accepting, I was going into a place of submission, and I did not like that, and I just wanted to rebel and rebel and rebel. But it was only at the very end when I was exhausted and I was just weak because I needed. When I actually went up, was able to go directly to my heart.
Mm.
When I was going out to people, then it just wasn't even working because I felt tired. So that, and the thing is, like, I was experiencing, like, I don't know if you guys could sense this, but I was experiencing like pretty strong shame during that. Like the part where I was just like standing, like I was just sitting in shame. And who the heck wants to do that? Like no one's like, I'm going to sit in shame for a while. No, we fight and do everything we can to not sit in these emotions. That's what addictions are. They're severing that connection with our body, with our emotions. We don't have to experience them because no one wants to feel like they are bad. No one wants to experience that they are wrong. And so just having that time period of a song, just 2 minutes and 39 seconds in my case, to experience that. And through just allowing my body to speak, the truth came out.
Mm.
The truth of the emotion came out.
So one of the things too, I think, well, it was interesting because all I could think of is how much I loved you at the beginning of the first, minute or something. And we'd love to hear what you guys thought of that and what came up for you. And if you were able to really feel shame. It was interesting. I wasn't necessarily feeling shame, but what I was experiencing was, how it's like you moved. It's like the movement. And that's what's so important with shame is to keep moving by being in our authenticity, by just expressing ourselves, our hearts, however that is, just getting it out. And so even as you were sitting, it's like shame is very stagnant. It keeps us very stuck. It does not. So if you're experiencing a lot of, if you're not experiencing movement right now in your life and you're really stuck, you need to do something like this. You got to do some movement, or you got to say what's going on in your heart and just get it out somewhere, because that's what's going to shift you out of it. And I've seen this. I've worked with, like I said, probably thousands of women specifically. And I've done all of this in the 12-step recovery groups and all of that. I've worked and led these. And really, when we do this, it shifts right away.
Yeah. And you need to talk in the language of emotion, because we can go all day of, I feel like this, and it's all justification and it's all story, but nothing's moving because our brain is just taking a picture and analyzing it, and it just doesn't do anything. It just stays there. But when we feel it, I feel this in my, if you're struggling, if you're afraid of feeling it, just say, okay, where in my body do I feel it? Okay, what does that feel like? Whoa. Like feel like heavy, not like, yeah. So just really be patient with yourself and just give it a chance. We had
Cynthia.
Yeah.
Let's pop on. I'm going to pop her on right now. Cynthia, joining our oh, let's hope it works, right?
No worries.
Hopefully you can get on. You got to put yourself on video and off mute. Hopefully your video will work, because we know Amy had to pop off and pop back on. So
I can't start the video because the host has stopped it.
I know it's weird. I know.
That was my issue too.
Yeah, I changed it in the back thing, so we may have to just have you talk, because I don't know what else to do. Except I called them and everything, and and she got on, so I don't know what else to do. So I apologize.
He said, do I need to jump off and then jump back on? Or
possibly, but I don't. Yeah, try it. Jump off and jump back on and see if it works.
That'll work.
And we'll wait for you. But Cynthia is going to. What's Cynthia going to do? I know you would talk to
her.
her.
A really incredible experience with this. She, after our quickening event, she did this for 30 days. She did authentic movement AIM for 30 days, nearly every single day. And you wouldn't think it would have that big of an effect, but just listening and tapping into your body and then expressing it has huge effects. Because like I said earlier, addiction is severing our body with our head. It's severing that emotion. It's severing like what makes us human, because we don't want to feel. And so this literally taps back into that. And so Cynthia's been able to have a really cool experience of seeing it in a long-term form. And so I was just giving them the background on your experience, Cynthia, of doing it for 30 days.
Cynthia, it's not working the video. I'm sorry. But at least we can hear your gorgeous voice.
Yeah.
All right. Then I'll speak clear.
Yes. So tell us about this experience of 30 days of AIM, because I don't know, I think your results of that were just like mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, it has been pretty mind-blowing, especially like knowing where I've come from and what I've experienced in the past, a lot of depression and anxiety, and especially the past year and a half, I've been pregnant and I had a new baby, and I just felt so disconnected. Like I don't know what my problem was. Like a lot of times, like I'd come out of it a little bit and then I'd just go right back in. And I think the key was this, like what you're talking about, is feeling the feelings, like, and stop shoving them away. Like so many times we do that and we think it's serving us. And, sometimes, yes, it does. Like it keeps us safe. But do you want to be safe, or do you want to move forward and grow and progress and really expand and live your life, right? Like, do you want to live? So like, I don't just want to survive. I want to live. So we went to at the quickening, we learned how to do this, and it was pivotal for me, like absolutely mind-blowing. And just how I could tap into this and feel these feelings and be my authentic truth and let it come out, like, and so much has come from this. So I just wanted to share a few of the, like, I actually have a list of 20 things that that I've experienced from doing this for 30 days, because that's what I decided. I needed to do this for 30 days, and I'm obviously over 30 days, and I'm still going to do it because it's that powerful. But I made that initial goal of 30 days. And because I wanted to remember me, I wanted to remember my authenticity, my truth, and live my life, and feel these things and process and move forward. So I don't think I have enough time to read all 20, but I wanted to highlight a few. So the first one, I've actually released weight. Like I've lost 11 pounds. So that's just crazy to me. Like how I'm just shedding so much as I'm moving. The other one is I've gained clarity and inspiration just flows, which helps me to make decisions. Because after I do this, like I realize things about myself, or I'm able to release this stuff to tap back into my authenticity. So then I can make a decision from that place. Because it's always, always, always better to make a decision from your authenticity and in faith, and not fear or shame or any of that other junk. Because life just happens so much better when you make those clear decisions. So like I said, another thing is I process through this junk and this crap, and I release. Like, it's amazing how it taps into the body and the spirit to release whatever is holding me back. Another thing is I've experienced less depression and anxiety. And even times when I feel inklings of that coming on, and then I'm like, at first I'm like, oh no, I don't want to be here. But like, then I know what to do. Like, I know what to do with that. Like, oh, I'm totally disconnecting here. I'm totally in my crap. I need to release this. So I do authentic movement, and it just goes away.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then another thing is I have more energy. Like, it's energizing to live life. Like, one of the things I've realized doing this, as I'm feeling these, like, the negative stuff and like really feeling it, like, it's hard work to live like that. Like, this stuff is being stored in me, right? Like, it's hard work to avoid it. And it's hard work to like do this stuff. And I'm like sitting there like struggling, and like I'm out of breath and doing this authentic movement. And I'm like, holy crap, like, this has been inside me. Like, why am I keeping this with me? This makes everything harder. So, and it's draining. So then when I release that and I'm in my authenticity, like, then I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it's energizing. Like, living life is so energizing.
Well, I love, and Cynthia, I know, I'm so grateful you just came on. I hope that it's okay but I just want to tell you, what you just shared is like, I mean, it's, as women, we're looking for all of that. I mean, what, just those 4 things you just shared.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, and Ashley, like Ashley just asked, she said, is it to dance? And Ashley, yes, this is actually a little bit different than just dance. And maybe, Cynthia, you could talk about, for you, doing AIM for you, does it feel like you're dancing? Because to me, there's a little difference between like dancing and then doing AIM.
Mm-hmm. Totally. So what do you want me to say?
And no, I'm just curious. And yes, the action to take is to do AIM. Ashley, yes, to do it's basically, I guess it's your heart dance. It is a dance. It's your heart dance. It's your body moving. So I'm just saying,
the difference? Or?
Yeah, like for you when you're dancing, but we're coming from your heart and releasing, like you're talking about, what's the difference for you of just doing like dance and then really stepping in your heart consciously stepping in your heart?
Right. I think dancing, like, there's benefit in dancing for sure. But a lot of times it goes deeper. It's moving from your authentic, your truth, your, being honest. Like, just sometimes, like a few times I've just done this sitting on the ground and like maybe moving my hands a bit or rocking back and forth, or even on the ground in like fetal position. And it doesn't have to look pretty. It doesn't have to flow. Like, it flows, but it doesn't have to like look like anything like dancing like that. That's what I think of dancing is like showing this progression, or showing it's a show. So doing this, it's like you just move authentically.
You move. Well, what I love too, one of the things that I've noticed is, for me, it's like I drop into my heart, and that's the difference. And that's something we're actually going to talk about, the next thing that we're going to be talking about, and how to actually do that. So it actually is a good segue into that, Cynthia. So I just want to tell you, thank you so much for coming on and sharing. And you can hang out too if you want, and maybe you'll have more things to share. So I'll just keep you on the panel list and you just hang out. And but yeah, no, I because of you and because of Amy and watching just you doing it for 30 days, again, what it really is it's really about the authenticity, you guys. It's really about, it's not just about the movement. It's not about even the action of the movement. It is actually about us dropping into our hearts. And that is something that I found as women, working with women for so many years. We have a tendency to go to our heads. A lot of women actually deal with a lot of neck aches. I did massage for almost 12 years. I worked on a lot of women. We have a lot that we carry in our shoulders and in our necks. We also have a lot of headaches. So a lot of women are in our heads. We're dealing with that. And you know, one of the things that we talked about was money in this whole webinar. And I just want to bring that up for a second and let you know, you notice we aren't talking about money that much. And the reason being is that if you do the things that we're going to be talking about, and if you just kind of observe and listen and ask questions like Ashley's doing, because Ashley is asking questions. And do you know how much we freaking love questions? We are all about questions. Ask as many questions to get clear, because if you do that, if your heart keeps asking these questions, you're going to get clearer and clearer on what you need to do, what's going to be important for you, how to move for you. And so, Ashley, I just want to say thank you for being an example here for us. So what I was saying is going into this place of our hearts and how women, we're in our heads, we're stuck there a lot. And we talk a lot about this in the quickening. We believe, and again, and Ashley asked the question, what is a quickening? Well, quickening is to come alive. It is to come alive in different areas of our lives. And again, how we do that is, how do I put this? I want to put this in a clear way. A quickening is coming alive. The thing is you have to have a space to do that. And a lot of us are not knowing how to do that out there in the real world. We're paralyzed. We're stuck by our own fears of maybe failure, of showing up, you know, maybe the wrong or stupid. We've been told all these things, our limiting beliefs. So a lot of us are in our heads because we're really in our limiting beliefs. So what we're asking women to do, and to, in this process and in this space of this movement of 1 million women strong, is this quickening energy of coming alive, utilizing authenticity. And also one of our core values is faith. And the opposite of that is fear. And so that's the other emotion that we want to focus on and face for a few minutes is fear, and what fear is. And you guys know the acronym, and I don't know if you've heard the acronym that people have created for fear. It's false evidence appearing real. Sorry, I almost blanked. False evidence appearing real. Ashley said, I was thinking that seems like someone doing this for the first time would feel really stupid for sure. Yeah. Ashley, it does. It's so, and why do you think, and again, that's a great point, because that's where we're talking about fear is we're going to look stupid. We're going to sound stupid. People are not going to like us. They're going to reject us. Or we're going to reject ourselves, or we don't even understand. I mean, if we are doing it even on our own, it's weird, right? It's like we should be able to do this on our own. But so anyway, just addressing this fear, it is false evidence appearing real. It's not real. And one of my true beliefs with also our hearts is that our hearts will tell us our truth. It will tell us who we truly, truly are, divine beings that are capable of massive movement, massive creation, massive. Every single one of us, I believe that. And so these fears that we have when we're in our heads, our limiting beliefs are keeping us from dropping into our hearts. And what Cynthia just said, dropping into who we really are, getting through our processes faster, and being able to keep moving in a very healthy, joyful way. Lisa said, you do it alone and it still feels weird, but only the first time. It's so freeing. So Lisa's done it also. We actually have quite some women that are in our membership that are on here. So we're going to be talking about that at the end too, you guys. We do have an offering a free offering for you at the end of this to actually give some of this a try. So we just want to throw that out real quick.
Can I say something super fast
Oh
on
my
that?
gosh, yes, Amy.
Yeah. So just like feeling stupid with it, because that's totally valid. And you have to pay attention to that, like, wow, okay. That's what's cool about this is your emotions are trying to tell you something. They're trying to teach you something about your beliefs. So if you're like, I feel really stupid, like what's going on? Where is that coming from? Because you even mentioned earlier, it reminds me like when children dance and children have no expectation of what others think of them. They're not trying to impress people. They're not trying to get something out of it. They're not trying to make people like them from their dancing. And I think that's a lot of what it comes from is you feel stupid because you're like, well, I'm doing something wrong. But how can you, it's not even, I took 2 weeks of ballet one time and like I've never taken a dance class. Like I've never like it's not based on dancing ability. It's just what your heart says. And so
But this is the beauty of all of what we're talking about right now. So with this whole faith, it's about tapping back into our truth. It's about tapping back into who we really are. And it isn't about what we can or can't do anymore. It's about what is. It's about truly what is in us. And so what we're going to do for the second segment is we're going to actually allow, well, I'm going to first do it. So what I'm going to show you is going from our head to our heart. Now we call this heart cells in our quickening membership and also in our quickening events, because this is where you can have that coming alive. It's learning how to go from your head to your heart. We've actually done a whole training in our quickening membership all around that. So if you end up coming into the quickening membership, you'll be able to see it in our files. But really going, and we're not going to go into a lot of detail. I'm just going to show you what it looks like to go from head to heart. And I'm also going to give permission to Amy to guide me in this. If she's seeing that I'm still in my head, I want her to call me out on it and have me go into my heart. Because a lot of times we don't even know when we're in our fears, you guys. We don't even understand that we're still in fear because we're so used to keeping ourselves safe, and our brains are, that it's going to seem so real that this is what we're supposed to do, or this is how we're supposed to feel, if that makes sense. So when we're in our heads in that fear space, it may be really, it's going to take practice to go into our hearts. So we're going to do that. And then I'm actually going to have, we're going to have Seidel come on too, even though we're not going to be able to price your video. Dang it, Seidel. But we're going to actually have you do the same thing, but specifically around what you were going to share. So, okay, I'm going to do it. Let me see what I want to do this on though. Actually, what didn't plan it so that I could just kind of be, okay, so this is just right here. What's present for me right now is that I feel like I don't feel like I am a failure, and that what I do, even on this webinar and what I'm doing right now, is not good enough. That even though I love to have questions, that when there's a question, that it actually is, it's scary because it means that I'm failing. So I'm just going to talk about that for just a second.
keep going.
Okay. I love doing this. I love being here collaborating and just listening to you guys. I love women. I love women because I am one, and I can feel so, I just so deeply connect with women. I see our power. I know who we are, and I believe in us. And I'm just so grateful to be here right now. With all of you. Okay.
I think that was firmly in heart space, and you could tell because you didn't do any feel likes. You weren't trying to justify yourself. Talking from your heart is very bold. It's very bold. You cannot take back anything you just said. It's not like, oh, that's not what I meant. It's very bold. Did you guys feel that? Could you feel what that, it wasn't trying to justify. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I like to do that. Like I like to do this. It wasn't trying to justify herself. It was just there and present. Could anyone feel that? I know Cynthia and Lisa. Yeah. How did that feel, Jen?
Well, it was interesting because again, I was in my head as I was explaining, and then again, I just thought, okay, what does it mean to really? It's about like the justifications and thinking about the things that are going. But when I just like dropped into my heart, I went into faith, and I even thought of the word faith. It was like, go into what really is for you right now. Like truly, what is? Why am I even here? Why am I even sitting here on this webinar right now? And that's when just floods of emotions came, and love, like massive love and massive gratitude just filled my heart. And so I think that's, again, we're going, this is what we want us to be, understand that it's okay to go there. And we have protected our hearts, ladies, for too long. And it's really time to unleash and unlock the gate, the gel cells of our hearts, and let them be free. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. That's really what makes us come alive.
What if someone wanted to have just a quick explanation of how to flip into their heart? What would you say? What would you tell them?
Well, like I just said, it would just be I'm a visual person. So for me, I literally see myself dropping into my heart. And so because of all the work I've done with energy work and massage and working with women and counseling and coaching, I know how to go right into my heart, and it takes practice. So this is the one main thing I'd have to tell everybody is as you keep practicing doing it, and you got to have space to do it too. That's why we've created spaces, memberships, events, and things for people to come in and practice. And then also just what you did. That's a way to drop into our hearts. Yeah. And like you said, it takes time and practice to do it. But I actually want to bring Seidel on, if that's okay, Seidel. I'm going to pop you on. And Seidel, can I use you as, and I know you were planning on talking about the AIM, but I'm actually going to have you, hi Seidel, you got to take yourself off mute, just so you know. Yeah. Oh, wow, your video came on. How did that happen? Have you on? Oh, awesome. Stoked. But you're still on mute. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Yay.
Hello.
Hello. So we're going to do it a little different, though, than what maybe you were planning. But it's still going to be what you planned. It's just going to be if you could, for one, like about a minute, or, whatever it is, drop into your heart around what you were planning on talking about.
Well, that's really hilarious because I had been like, I had been asking this way, what do you want me to share? What do I want to share today? And it was zero preparation. He's like, don't worry about it till you get there. And so I find this amazing.
It's perfect.
Right. So
are you, let me ask you really quick. Are you okay if Amy or well, maybe I just do it so we don't have two people talking to you, but can I call you out if you're not in your head? Are you okay with that?
Call me out, baby.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
Okay, so movement is so huge for me, and which is why I really love doing AIM, because it gives me a safe space for me to be in my heart for the whole time, and for me to see where my heart is, and like where my hurts are at and where my heals are at too, like how to heal that space. So I did this the other day, and I did it two ways. Like I wanted to do the sad feeling and I wanted to do the happy feeling and just do them back to back to feel the shift in it. And so I did grief, and then I was going to do joy right after. And I was forcing the feeling of joy in that second movement. And it was like 30 seconds into the song and I couldn't do it anymore. And I just had to feel what I had to dance what I felt, and what I felt was I can't be in joy. I can't have that. And I realized that I wasn't in this space, that it was a stepping stone of.
So I'm going to stop you for a second. You're so awesome for letting me use you as an example. I love this. This is what is so fun at the quickie when we do it at the events. I want you actually, you're kind of fluctuating between. I don't know if you guys can sense that. And again, it's not that anything you're saying is bad or wrong at all.
Right.
It's not about that. It's just about, let's see if you can just even go deeper into your heart. Like I'm going to ask you to go even deeper with what you're just sharing to see what comes.
Joy is scary.
Mm.
Joy is hella scary. Because if you're joyful and you're flying, then you have a really long way to fall. And even though I want to be there, like massive want to be there in joy, it's scary. It is so scary. And doing that dance, it really showed me how it feels to be in joy, and how scary, and how sometimes, even though I think I want it, my heart says it hurts too much to try.
Thank you, Saidal. That was so perfect. I had chills all over. Does anyone else did anyone else notice that difference, that shift? Going from, again, it wasn't that anything you said was bad or wrong. That's the beautiful thing. It's not like our heads, it's loving our mind space. It's loving, who we are in all aspects. It's just the choice of us as women, and our power is in what you just did. I believe that's our power as women, to go into our hearts. Because if you were in that heart, Saidal, like if you stay there, if you really could stay there right now, you'd be safe, right? If you could stay in.
Right. Even though it feels like it's scary, it's actually the best place. It is so the best place, because I get to be real with where I'm at. And that's the only way I can have movement.
Yeah. And really the scary, what I'm learning as I'm going through this, is the scary really actually is our heads. Really not our hearts. Our hearts actually aren't scared of anything. Because it's our divine truth. We don't have to be scared. It's just we're not used to being in our hearts on such a consistent basis, or allowing ourselves to go there. We will fluctuate. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I really like how you said that. Looking back at it, when I dropped into my heart space and I really was speaking from my heart, I didn't feel any fear at all. And I was just totally sharing everything that was coming, which is why there was zero preparation.
Yeah. Can you imagine, really, you guys, a world where we were in that space? Really, more often than not, we were in what Saidal just did. It was super powerful to watch the difference.
Mm-hmm. Before, it was a lot of just like talking here, and I was like interested in what you had to say.
Yeah,
it was very like up here, but then when you started talking from your heart, it was like it demanded attention.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way of putting it.
That's the only way to describe it, as I was listening to you before, but then
like we were drawn in, like my heart was drawn into you.
Yes.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
Saidal, that was so perfect. I'm so grateful you came on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for asking me and letting me be a part of this. That was huge for me.
And I think, again, something to just remember is, for all of us, this is really what we're doing here. What you just did is a big reason why we're here. Because that really is our authentic, that is authenticity. What you just experienced and what you just did. So I was thinking of having somebody else come on to do the heart, but we only have about 9 more minutes, and I think it was perfect what Saidal did. Mm-hmm. I don't think we could have it any more perfect. So, and I love what you guys are sharing on the comments too. Lisa said, so true. It's always our head that's scared. Wow, the world would be so glorious, filled with childlike joy, truth. Saidal, you are so inspiring. It really is. It is a glorious space to be. So what I want to bring up is the third emotion. And Seidel, you're welcome to stay on and hang out for a minute. We can have a bunch of people on here if we want. So you can just stay on, you can mute yourself, whatever you want to do. The third part, though, what we're going to talk about is loneliness. And that's the third emotion that I think there's a quote from Jeffrey R. Holland. And he talked about, I remember this talk, can't remember the exact words, but I remember this talk. It was from years ago. And he said, we never need to be alone and feel lonely or experience that. And when he said that, I was like, well, first of all, to feel lonely is going to be a feeling that we have. What I've learned from that, though, now being in this community that we're in and the space that we're in consistently, that I'm always engaging in with all these women and all of you guys, is lonely doesn't exist. I honestly hardly ever feel lonely anymore. I really don't even have that feeling much anymore. And now I'm starting to understand that what he said is truth. And I'm going to tell you the one main reason, and it's actually a couple of the things that we've already been doing, obviously the two things, but the biggest reason of why I don't experience loneliness anymore is because of community. And that's our third pillar. That's our third value that we utilize in our membership, in our community, in our space, is community. And one of the things that we do that we found is that, first of all, we have to have a space that's safe. Now, how we create the space that's safe, a perception of separation is the worst. Yes, Lisa. How we experience safety is something that's really interesting to me. Safety is just by being honest inside the group, is just by being who we are. And that's what I found creates the most safety, is authenticity, is being allowed to be ourselves, whatever that is, inside of a space that is created and like basically, what's the word? I'm not sanctified. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, I can't think of the word. The intention of it is. So I want actually to bring on, because I think other people can say this probably a lot better than I can. I'm actually going to bring on Christy right now. Christy, are you ready to be on for a minute or two? Oh, Siri is wanting to do something. Okay, so where are you, the healing coach? I'm bringing you on, Christy. There she is. Oh, we can see you too. What is going on with Cynthia's? What the heck, Cynthia? That was weird, huh? So you're on mute still, Christy.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
So, Christy, because you have been such an inspiration inside of our community and just as a friend, but we were hoping you could share, again, from your heart space, but whatever you want to share about this community and why this is supporting you to not experience loneliness anymore.
Okay. Well, when I think of this community, I think of sisterhood, but here's the thing is I actually have 6 sisters. Okay. And I love my sisters, but to Jen's point of being lonely, we can be in a crowd of people and feel lonely. We can be in a marriage and feel lonely. We can be in all kinds of relationships and still feel lonely. And so, and even in with my sisters, like I love my sisters, but some of them I don't feel so completely connected to. And so I just want you guys, actually, everybody to just close your eyes for a second. And I want you to remember the last time you felt like you were in a place of safety where you could throw your tantrums, show your dark sides, your weaknesses, shine your light, and be totally supported, be totally wrapped in love in everything you love to do, and totally feel like, when was the last time you felt like you were in a place like that? I just want you to think about that, because I could actually say today, I could say today, because of the sisterhood that's in this group is just like, I just feel like my heart has just opened wide up because I have friends. I've got lots of friends actually, but to have like, there's a different word to sisterhood for me, and that sisterhood is I see the best in you even in your lowest moments. I see who you are and I support you and I love you, and you don't have to be anything different than who you are. And to me, that's safety. And so that's this community right here that Jen and Amy have built. And it's such a, like, to be able to throw a tantrum in front of people and still be like, hey, you know what? I loved your tantrum. It was cute. You know? And then also on the other end of that, to feel like this emotion of grief and just feel somebody feel it with you is just so amazing. And at the same time, going to the place of like, hey, you know what I did this week, and having those I did it moments is just awesome. So I feel like that kind of encompasses this whole community. So if you are like looking for a community to feel that safety and to be you, I have to honestly say, with all the training I've done there, I have never, ever experienced a community like this. And we as women need this. We deserve it, honestly. So
I love that, Christy, and I'm so grateful for you. And one of the things that we have friendship circles inside our membership group. And one of the things that we're going to be offering is a 14-day free trial for all of you who are on this. So it's only for 1 week that we're putting this out there for people to take advantage of and women to take advantage of. Now, the reason also, just so you know, because there is a safe environment in here, which I get a lot of questions about women coming in. It's a membership, so it's a monthly membership. You can come in for 14 days, but we want you to observe and experience and then step in whenever you want. Like, to really go, okay, what is this space? Because you may not really get it right now. And until you experience it, sometimes it's hard to really get something until you've experienced it. Would you not agree? I mean, even Christy, you've known me for how long, and you stepping in here, it's like, I mean, you're getting it because you're interacting too.
Yeah, completely. And just a note for that friendship circle, you know, so we're put into small groups, and so you have that immediate support. Like, everyone in the group supports you, but you have that immediate support. And I just remember just one of the women in our group one day, she was really having a hard day, and so she came to us on Messenger and she's like, hey, I'm about to do my video and I need you guys to support me. And we all jumped on and we supported her, and she felt our love as she did that. And it's like you've just got your own wonderful little inner circle of love to support you.
I've been calling it friendship with purpose.
Yes.
Like, we're really creating purpose because we're coming in here to be real, raw, and to live in our truth. And we're all doing it together. We have an intention together coming in here. I wanted to bring on also Ambria just for a minute. Ambria, if you just want to, I would love to hear maybe just one or two like very specific things that have occurred just by coming to the Quickening and being in the Quickening membership. And we know one of the things that's really exciting this week that's happening for you. So if you want to share that,
Yes.
how exciting.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
So I went to the Quickening in March, and it was awesome. I had no idea what to expect or what it was going to be like, but I just took a leap of faith and went. And it was so everything I had been praying for and needed. It was so awesome. And I remember being there just thinking about money and being like stressed about money, going, oh, I shouldn't be here spending money. And then just kind of going into my heart and shelving that thought and going, you know what? I'm supposed to be here, and I'm not even going to worry about money because it's just going to flow. So I go home, and that weekend we literally had the rest of the money come in that we needed for our down payment to buy this house we've been trying to buy. But the problem was we couldn't even find the house. We've been searching since August to find a house to buy, and it wasn't happening. And I don't think I was even in a place to receive that. But literally like 2 weeks after the Quickening, not only did we have the money, but we also had the house. So we're closing on our house on Friday, and I'm super excited. And I know it was the Quickening. Okay, sorry, my daughter is coming here.
We love it.
Yeah, it's just real life. Anyway, so that is my story, and I know it was because the Quickening just opened up my heart to receive that stuff that I was fighting like in my head. You know, I was just so in my head that I was just so caught up in like, how is it going to work out? I want to know how. I want to but once I went into my heart, it would just happened,
Mm. I
Anyway.
love it. No, it's so perfect. And you guys, Ambry is a great example of stepping into your heart and what truth does when we do what we're talking about today. When you do some of the AIM, when you maybe try out the 14-day trial, when you just can go even and just have a friend that you just say, look, I just need to talk this stuff out. I just need to do this. I just need to go into my heart and talk. When you have that, what happens is things like Ambria, where she released so much that it's like the universe conspires for us. It wants us to have what we desire. That's the huge part of this. And that's a connection to money. It wants us to have what we desire. And we will have the things we desire. Some may take a little more time and patience, but they come. And so Ambria is such a wonderful example of immediate results of doing this kind of work. So thank you, Ambria. I love it. And I love that she has her. And you guys, I am looking for, I'm looking for the link to give you the 14-day trial, and I am not finding it right now. What the heck? I wish Marnie was on here. She is amazing, and she tells me where everything is. She's the one who does it. So anyway, I'm going to give you the link in just a second. Amy, do you want to end this with anything?
I know for me, even through planning the quickening, I didn't know what to expect. Even the first day there, even leading it, spending all these months planning it and all this time and effort and energy planning it, I couldn't have experienced what it would do for me and what I was witnessing in other women. It caused huge shifts in my life. I've never felt very connected to women before in my life. Because of certain circumstances, and to have now a huge support system of all of these women that have my back and want the best for me and are there in a really loving, kind, sometimes tough love place. I love it. And I really do adore what this membership does. I adore this quickening movement that we're being a part of. And so I'm really glad that we were able to do this webinar. And I'm really grateful that we were able to express these things that are so important to us. And so, because it's impacted my life completely. And I'm having so many quick shifts in my life, and I'm having so many rapid changes. And
you're moving today too.
I'm moving today. Yeah.
And it is, I know, like a big part of that, a lot of things that are happening to us is because we just have a place to be able to be our truth.
Yes.
And we get support, and it's almost, I think of a microphone, and it's like, we're in the membership, and it's like this microphone, and it's like putting it out to everywhere around us, and it's just amplifying everything. So that's what happens if we continually do it and step in. Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for coming on, and I just love all these beautiful women. They're so amazing. Do you see the amazing women that are in the membership? And you guys, I got the link. So it's here in the chat box. If you look, you can click on that, and then you can sign up for the 14 days. Once you get and you sign up, you'll get a commitment or agreement, and also some of the specifics around it. So go check that out. Sign up. It'll give you the link to the Facebook. You get to say yes to it, all that yummy stuff. If you have any questions, you just get to email me at yourhealingartist@gmail.com, which I'll put in here too. And we seriously want you that are on here to come in. And those of you that are watching the replay, we thank you. And again, this is only for another week. But anyone else just want to share really quick anything before we just hop off this webinar? I keep feeling to ask that. I love it. Look at your faces. So beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for being on. Your intentions. I hope you can utilize some of this stuff. If you have any questions, again, email us. Yay! I'm so glad. Thanks, Cynthia. Thank you, Lisa, for being on. Thank you, everyone. We love you so much. Thanks, everyone. We will see you. I'm going to end the meeting. First webinar down. All right, see ya. Yeah. Bye, you guys.